Welcome to my online knit party. This is the first time I am streaming live on YouTube. Not sure if it'll work, but I hope that in a second a few people will join me. Hello. How are you?
Ciao, ciao.
We are actually streaming on YouTube.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, we take in English.
We speak English,
Ciao,
yeah.
ciao in
Ciao,
English.
ciao. That is very
Perfect.
what's the word? International. So I suppose everyone understood what you meant.
I guess so.
What's new in Sweden?
Sweden. I don't actually. Yeah. Well, the sad news is that one of Swedish celebrities died yesterday.
Oh no. Which
50
one
so,
was it?
oh, a TV personality. Oh, if you lived in Sweden, you maybe know. Have heard about him, Adam Alsing.
No,
So
I'm
he
sorry.
was,
I was so in
he
living
was
in
in TV
bubble.
shows since 90s.
Oh wow, okay.
I think in Sweden, I think most people knew him from TV or radio. Mm. So it,
Hello,
yeah.
Liene.
Yeah, Joe.
Ciao,
Ciao.
ciao. We're just speaking English because we're also on YouTube.
Okay.
We're allowed to say ciao.
Yeah. And yeah, we were just talking about what's happened in Sweden. So are people taking, I mean, Swedish people are always serious. But has anything changed in the
I don't think so.
perception?
No, I don't know. I think people are quite careful. So, but not really young people. So if you walk around during lunchtime, so restaurants are full of people. People are sitting outside. So yeah, so everything looks pretty normal. Many people do work from home.
You have hi Liga. You have beautiful sky in purple color. It's, is oh, what happened?
No, she's gone.
I was gonna ask you if that's a northern light.
Oh, Northern Lights is the green
Yeah,
This
I
is
remember seeing
sunset.
once in my life in Latvia. One winter, it was so beautiful, but that was it, just once. Do you see them more in Sweden?
Well, if you go to northern Sweden, you see them all the time in winter.
Yeah,
But in Stockholm, not very often.
yeah, because it's quite South Sea.
Yeah, and then you need to be in the countryside.
But you can still travel freely, right?
Yeah, you
And-
can go anywhere you like. But
and-
actually, during Easter, recommendation was not to go, not to go to Gotland Island or skiing. So I think actually during Easter, many people stayed at home in Stockholm.
Wow, I was just watching on the news for a little bit. There was a state in America, I'm not sure which one, but people were protesting against
Yeah.
the lockdown. And the arguments was that they needed to go to a hairdresser.
In Sweden, you can do it.
I just think, wow. I mean, it's not nice to be sitting at home, but to risk your life for a hair appointment. Maybe in like a few weeks I will say a different
If
story.
you're reasonably young, you're not risking your life. If you're young, you're not risking your life. So there are very few young people that are seriously ill.
Mm.
So, but you shouldn't meet kind of grandma and grandpa and well.
Mm. You risk infecting others, I guess.
Well, but if you're not meeting elderly people, so I think you don't risk too much.
And it's interesting that men are a lot more affected.
Yeah. Like,
Why is that?
Because they are weak.
why is that?
But everybody knows if they get sick, they are always like dying. So
Yeah.
it's not that
Oh.
strange, maybe.
This is normal.
The legendary man flu.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to learn what was the reason actually, if it's hormones or if it's just men are kind of less healthy. But I think when they're getting flu, they also get more sick.
Yeah, I mean, my husband, when he gets a sniffle, that's it. I have to, what's the word? Slave. Hi, Maria. How are
Hi.
you?
Hi.
I'm good, thanks.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
We're just talking about guess what? The virus.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Haven't heard of it.
Yeah, we were just talking about how men disproportionately more are affected than women, and we don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
if that's what's behind it. Maybe you have heard some explanation.
I heard that was the case, but I didn't hear why.
There's a reason.
Yeah, so I'm not afraid for myself, but I am married to a male. So oopsies. What's everyone knitting? Maybe we can start going around and reminding everyone of our names and telling what's on our needles before we jump into the questions. Well, let's start with Christine.
Oh, okay, again. Okay. Right. So, shall I introduce myself?
Yes.
Okay, right. So, my name is Christine. So, I live in Stockholm since, well, more than 20 years. So, originally, I was born in Riga. Why I came to Sweden. So anyway, I came to Sweden for studies. It was like to stay here for 2 years, but in then, so without any plans or anything, so I stayed more than 20 years.
Wow. So
And
did you knit before you went to Sweden already?
yeah, I knitted a lot since I was a kid, actually.
Uh-huh.
So, but then I stopped knitting for a while. So I've been sewing, and then, well, for a while I was not knitting. I was kind of, I don't know, reading books, walking, enjoying myself. But then, you know, when you have been a knitter, so you at some stage you will restart your knitting.
Yeah.
It restarted like maybe 5-10 years ago, so I can't stop.
It's an addiction.
It's total addiction. It's like a drug, you know. You need, okay, I just need few more rows. I need to go to bed. No, I will need just few more rows. Yeah. So, but knitting is quite actually relaxing, I think. So I've been traveling a lot. Until recently. So when I travel, I always bring my knitting and my needles. So travel on airplane, it's kind of relaxing. So nobody.
And has anyone ever taken your needles away from you when you?
Actually, well, it happens twice, but because I've been traveling like, I don't know, several hundred times, so it happens only twice. So, but now I usually take kind of extra pair of needles, like wooden needles.
Yeah.
So this is the worst thing when you don't have any extra needles, they take your needles away. So once it happens in Amsterdam, I was so mad. Of course, the evening was destroyed. I didn't have any spare needles, so now I always bring spare needles. And now I use wooden needles, so it's not a problem. And then some nights ago, it was not last night, but night before, I had really nightmare. I kind of dreaming a lot in this virus that, I don't know, maybe sleeping more. It was really nightmare, you know? And the dream was that I went somewhere traveling on an airplane and I forgot to bring my yarn. I had my knitting and my yarn was about to get finished and I was so upset. So this is kind of knitting dream.
That happened to me almost.
In
Because of the
real
lockdown,
life.
we have to stand in the queue to get into the supermarket. And I've started taking my knitting with me because it's like half an hour. And then I almost ran out of yarn. I was playing yarn chicken. I had like this much left and I wasn't still getting in the shop yet. And I was almost furious. Like, why didn't I bring more?
Awful. It's awful. Yeah, and about my needles, I'm knitting. So I don't know if you can see it. It's a sleeve. It's a sleeve, and well, it's actually, this is a kind of a very warm winter jacket, but I still think I will finish it before I start summer projects. So this is a jacket. Well, designer is one of my favorites. It's Helga Isager, Danish designer. So she's really nice kind of jackets, pullovers, so hats, really kind of, I think you can match them easily with any outfit. So, and it's also yarn from Isager. It's kind of silk, mohair, and alpaca. So she's really nice. If you want to check out, you can look at Isager.
Okay.
So actually, she's come from the designer Onita's family. Her mom was also a famous designer, Marianne Isager. Now it's a daughter. So. Yeah, so that's about it. So I hope I will finish during this week. So I'm knitting a lot also during meetings. When I'm taking meetings from home, I can sit and knit.
Yeah, I was watching another podcast yesterday, and she said now that I have a lot of conference calls, I just knit books beneath the table. It was really nice to hear a backstory about you from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's a nice idea. So Leanna, why don't you tell us your backstory?
Yeah, my name is Lena. I am Latvian who lives in England for nearly 9 years now. And I have on me those. I have a knit cardigan for my friend.
It's so
So in
nice.
stripes. So I've nearly finished the body, and probably hopefully I can start sleeves tonight, because I want to finish it this week. So hopefully. That's it. That's my story.
Okay. And Liga?
My name is Liga. I am also Latvian, and I am also living in Sweden almost 8 years. And I also came here because of studies and stayed longer than that for some reason. And
What was the
I-
reason?
yeah, more
Was it someone
studies.
special?
More studies.
Ah.
Yeah, and then during the studies, I met my husband as well. So, and
Yeah.
he refuses to move to Latvia. I am joking about that sometimes.
Really?
So
Yeah.
why is that? Why is that?
Before we got married last summer, I told his relatives all the time that after we get married, we are moving to Latvia.
Aha.
They got crazy.
Why? Why is there so much? I mean, what?
I cannot take their youngest child away from them. Or he is the youngest in the family.
Ah, that's why. Okay.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought they had something against Latvia as a country.
No, he likes Latvia.
Okay.
And then now in February, I got Swedish citizenship, and then I started to check what are requirements to get citizenship in Latvia. And of course, it's not enough that we are married, so he still would need to live in Latvia for at least 5 years. So I said, so maybe now we are moving, so you can also get my citizenship. So we are similar.
Wow. So hold on. My husband's been looking into getting Latvian citizenship, and he because now with the Brexit is no longer a European Union country. So
Yeah.
he said that he'd have to learn Latvian and pass an
Yes.
exam. Yeah, okay.
Yes,
So-
and not just that, because
Or-
I got curious what requirements Latvia have, so I was Googling that, because he would need to know some history, national song, and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Something about the culture.
He would have to know more than a lot of actual Latvian citizens know, probably.
Exactly. If to compare with that, so there are no requirements in Sweden.
Really?
Yeah.
If you
It's
don't break
great.
the law, you don't need to know the language. Then if you don't have any debts, like, I don't know, maybe Christina knows how to say
Yeah.
kronofogden,
Oh, well.
or how to explain what it is.
Well, I think actually, if you have any kind of big debts or criminal records, so it could be more difficult.
Yeah, because then you need to have like longer time. So usually it's 5 years in Sweden, but if you have debts, so you need to be free from them for at least 2 years. If you do some crime, then it depends what kind of punishment you got. If it was prison or something else, and then it depends how many years more it takes.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's
But-
very strange
yeah.
that you don't need to speak language. I mean, this is kind of, but it will change. It will change.
Yes, they are talking about that, and I am working at the Swedish Migration Agency.
Oh, you do? Well, then you know all the requirements.
Yeah, for all kind of permits. Yeah, but then we are receiving calls sometimes that people are getting like worried almost that they will need to know Swedish to get the citizenship, because many people don't know the language. Yeah.
So this is, I should probably ask you privately, but how can you have dual citizenship as a Latvian? Because I thought that's just not allowed.
It is allowed.
It is
Yeah.
As
allowed.
a Latvian, you can have, yeah. As a Latvian, you can have. It's like if children like my son, he was born in England, and I can apply for Latvian citizenship.
Yeah, I
as well.
know that children can have until they're 18 years old, and then they have to choose one. No?
You can have it too. Latvia allows double citizenship.
Yeah.
Wow, for my daughter.
Not for all countries, but it should be European Union and US, New Zealand, and a few more.
Yeah,
Japan.
later I was reading about that as well. So it was yeah, mostly European countries and then some more specific,
Australia,
but
New Zealand.
not with all the countries, of course.
Not Russia.
Excellent. So the first
I know a Russian person in our family here in Sweden, and she said in Russia it's not possible to get citizenship if your parents are not Russian.
Hmm.
She said her son could get it. He's Swedish, but for example, not her husband.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And in Sweden, it was not allowed either before, but it's since I don't remember 2001 or something like that
Yeah,
they allowed.
Quite long time
double-
ago, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should all be like elephants, no passport, just roam freely around the globe and set
Yeah.
your house wherever you feel like it. But I'm not. I don't think
Yeah,
I'll
that's
ever
interesting.
get to that.
Some people ask sometimes, "Oh, I found out I cannot have double citizenship in my country, so I want to take back my application," for example. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
very different.
Yes.
Swedish people get or applies for Norwegian citizenship, and now when I think it's from this year that Norway also allows double citizenship, so then they are applying for Swedish again.
What happens
Interesting
in
how people
ice
think.
hockey? What happens in the ice hockey championship? Because I know it's a big thing in Latvia, but is it a big thing also in Sweden?
Not in our family. Nothing. We don't know anything about it.
It's different in my family there, and in every part of the family is a like different team. It's more like
Wow.
within the country, not.
So
not
I
the
wonder,
national
the people who have two citizenships, which national team do they support? The Swedish?
Yeah, we are fighting.
Okay. Because the Swedish and Norway teams, are they similar in skill?
I don't know.
The Norwegians are not very good. No, they are good at skiing.
You still know about hockey though.
I never heard of Norwegian hockey.
Okay.
No.
So I have knitting citizenship. Anyways, what are you knitting?
I'm still knitting your sweater. I'm on
yeah.
the sleeves. I'm
it's so
doing
nice.
both
So
at
nice.
the same time on two different needles, metal ones and 3 ones, because I don't have two similar, but it's the same size, so it should be fine. Yeah, I think my sweater is getting pretty short, and last week I forgot to ask you before you left, how long is yours? Do you have some information about that?
Oh, now you got me.
Because now I just
Is this
I didn't cut the yarn yet because it feels a little bit too short. I don't know, it maybe gets a bit longer after blocking.
It's not
Or if
long,
I have
actually.
some yarn
So
left.
someone already asked me this, and they said maybe they should add another repeat of the cable. I'm just trying to pull it from my stand. Maybe you could just add. But I said, why don't you put the stitches onto a holder or a temporary yarn? But it looks like you've already bound off. And block
Yeah,
it.
but I didn't cut yet.
Yeah,
In case
I
I
think
will
you
have yarn
should
over
worry.
and I do some more.
If it's superwash yarn, I would definitely block it before deciding, because I've had
Yeah, it is.
very interesting experiences with that yarn getting really long. And since usually nobody really worries about the row gauge, when you look at the gauge for a project, you just check the stitch count and don't really pay attention to the row gauge. It's really hard to kind of suggest how many rounds you should knit to get a certain size, because everyone does get different row gauges. And especially if you have superwash, no matter how big I do the swatch, my final object is still longer because it's just got more weight and it just stretches a bit more. So I think this is all a bit like magic
Yeah,
and art.
some of my knitting friends sometimes are saying, if it's too small, you have to block aggressively.
Yeah,
Not
well,
too aggressively.
if it's superwash rule, sometimes you just block and you'll see. Because I mean, I have an example here that it was supposed to be, I don't know how I can show you, but it was supposed to be a fairly short cardigan, but it just went. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, no, it covers my, so to speak, bottom very nicely, but it wasn't meant to. Hello. It says Rudis, but I know it's
Rules. Okay.
no, it's
Company.
Christine. We have another Christine. Ciao Christine, vai te mūs dzirdi? Oops, no speaking Latvian. Uh,
I could hear some music. I think she switched the microphone on, but then switched it off again.
while she's figuring this out, because
Yes.
yeah, we can hear you. You should say something because we can hear you, Christine.
Hi,
Yeah, hi.
I'm here.
Yes, you're here.
Oh, I'm logging as Rudis.
Yeah. You can
Oh, sorry.
name yourself if you want, but I only know how to do it in, but it doesn't matter. We are just introducing ourselves, and there's 6 of us. You look really confused, like this is a painful experience for you.
Yes, it's my. I'm.
Well, we can continue with our question, which was tell a little bit about yourself and what is on your needles, and we've gotten to Maria.
So I live in Virginia in the United States. And I started knitting after college for something to do. So that was just, I wanted something interesting to do and not sit and just stare at the TV. So that is the backstory on that. And right now I am working on the Sage Cardi test knit. I'm on a sleeve here because I can do that and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of the twisted ribbing on the hem still to do, but I thought I might skip that for a while. So I've got a needle still through that. And I will pick back up on that when I'm able to focus.
Yeah. Was it deceivingly long and painstaking hem?
Yes, it's deceiving how long it takes to do it, but it's so pretty like that it didn't feel bad to do it that long, but it was like, wow, this is taking a really long time. And because I thought I was going to be done, and then it was really late at night, and I said, no, I have to just stop, because otherwise it would have been, 3 in the morning or something, which is not wise. But it does look really pretty like that, so it's worth doing.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I thought maybe I'm the only one. When I was thinking about how long, in my head initially it was supposed to be quite that long, and then I started doing it about halfway through. I thought, no one is gonna knit this. No one is gonna finish. But I thought, but it's pretty, so I'm just gonna continue, and anyone who wants to modify, of course, can modify.
Sure.
This is
Yeah,
not-
you could just shorten it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so you feel free to do that if you want to work on sleeves, because you'll have a bit more of the hem of the cuffs in the same way. But cuffs go a lot quicker because there's just a tiny little
Fewer
circumference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you have a gorgeous color. And
Can we see the color?
Yeah, we didn't see your project. Maybe we can.
yeah,
Sort of.
Ah, it's beautiful.
Really nice.
yeah.
Yeah, this is a local dyer that she has really pretty stuff. So I was glad to have a chance to use it. But yeah, I really like this color.
It is beautiful.
Is this your design?
This is my if you're saying your to me, yes.
Yeah,
this is
Jeanette.
yeah.
Ah, right. So this is a new cardigan, or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's a cardigan that I made for my sister for Christmas. But I finished it like a month or two late because it just took so long to do the hem. and then the button band, and it was already 2 months. We have a new person connected, Oliva. Ciao. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. But we have gotten to Christine number 2, because we already have one Christine from Sweden. Now we have Christine from Riga. Ciao, Christine. Oh, I keep switching to Latvian. I don't know. What is this? Will you tell us about who you are, what's your name? I mean, we know your name, and what you're knitting.
It seems I have a bad connection because I hear you, but I can't see you. I don't know if you hear me.
We can hear you very well.
I will try to connect with my mobile Wi-Fi because my home Wi-Fi, I think it's. I will come back later, okay?
Okay, no problem.
I hear you, but I can't see you. I have only some faces here and something go around, and I'm thinking that I think that I connect with. Oh no, something move here. I will try to make my hotpost on my phone so I can get a better Wi-Fi connection. But no,
technical guru. In that case, we can move on to Liva. Hi, how are you? What's your story and what you're knitting?
I just woke up.
Good morning.
So I haven't, So I haven't started knit anything, but on my needles is something like this.
Oh, so cute. What is it?
It's
a headband?
Butterfly scarf. I don't know if you see. You can put it inside. Yeah, it's children's size, not the big one. So I'm making it in a different color.
Pink.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
So you think you'll be done by the end of the party?
Well, I hope. That's the goal.
Okay. Let's see. Let's return to you. Christine, are you reconnected?
No, not still.
No? Okay.
I see in my in my daughters video that when I moved 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. So you have a 5-minute lag. That
you-
sounds
Yeah, I have nobīde par 5 minūtēm.
You
yeah.
can try to switch off your video. So if you just use audio for yourself, maybe it works better.
I will try somehow. And I'm in Zoom with Rudis. It's my son.
Yeah.
And he had today his
School?
online school
Uh-huh.
in Zoom lesson. Yeah, so I will because in evening I have bad internet connection. I don't know
Because
why.
everyone is using internet, probably.
Internet, Netflix goes three. It's all this movie kind, and the internet is very slow in evening in Latvia, in
Mm,
Riga, in my location.
yeah.
So if you hear me, I
We
can
can hear you
introduce
perfectly.
me,
It's
but
not hasn't been a problem.
very difficult that I see. I speak, but I see me 5 minutes ago, but I was
That's how
moving.
space astronauts feel, probably.
Yeah, like
Talking to Earth.
I'm Christine. I'm knitter in Riga. I own my small yarn shop, and I'm knitting. But I think I can not show you what I'm knitting.
You cannot show us? Is it a secret?
No, it's not secret. But I don't know if I. Oh,
Ah,
it's a feeling when I move it to the video, but I don't see it on screen.
aha. We can see it. It's a beautiful multicolored
It's
Blanket.
my
square blanket.
yeah, what I posted today in Facebook group, and I haven't knitted it. I think 2 years. It's
Wow.
leftovers from stock yarn.
Yeah.
I'm knitting at the moment penguin sweater from Stefan West.
Hmm.
It's a beautiful cardigan, if I can call it so. It from leftovers, but I'm on ending edge, and I would like to see it in a brioche. But those 2 days I don't know why, but it's I'm it. I'm already reveled it twice,
Hmm.
and I think I just need to lay it for some days and knit
Ah,
something.
You mean you had some problems and you had to rip it twice? And
Yeah,
and
I-
you need a break from it. Okay.
I'm not good in brioche. I'm knitted it once, I think, or twice,
Hmm.
but it was some time ago, and I can't. I don't know why, but it's something not okay for me.
Yeah, it's one of those techniques that if you knit like a straight piece without decreases or increases, it kind of comes back to you. But as soon as there's the Stephen West type of things to do, it sounds like it would be complicated.
But
Yeah,
he sometimes
it's
says,
one of style to finish this penguin sweater is with garter stitch, but I would like to finish it with brioche with
Yeah,
two
persevere.
colors.
Yeah.
And therefore I need a time to watch again these videos to learn how better it will look. Because I have in mind how it must look. And
Oh, you're modifying it to have brioche, or he has
no,
to
it have the pattern.
has two options?
Yeah,
Oh.
have two options to this back around the gurni. I don't know.
Hem? Apakšmala?
Apakšmala, yeah.
Yeah, a hem.
It can be finished as a gardener stitch or brioche.
Yeah.
And I have 3 kids. This
3
gurni. I
3
need to finish
kids.
with brioche, not with gardener stitch. And I need the time to finish it.
We
Therefore,
So yeah, I think everyone should realize that when you come to these online knitting parties, it's easier to do something really monotonous, like a stockinette stitch just straight, because it's harder to focus and talk at the same time.
yeah, therefore I need this blanket.
It's beautiful.
Brioche today.
And you didn't tell us that you also dye yarn. Or
Yes, I die. I received today new bases, and it was how to say in English, izaicinājums, challenge not to stay at home tonight, but go to work and dye something. But tomorrow I will.
So you have basically Nagini as how can I say that?
Nagini, yes, yeah, because I had dyed all my bases and I have nothing to dye. And today couriers called me that they piegādāja man dzīvu. And it's bad that the husband come home very late. If he would came late earlier, I would go to my job and drink a wine and die here.
What's the name of your shop? What's the name of your yarn shop?
Maruma Yarns.
Oh, okay. And where is it? It's in Central Riga?
It's in Agenskans.
Okay.
But I have a web shop in Etsy.
Okay. But you have
haven't.
One can visit in Agenskans, so.
Yes, if you call me and agree a meeting, because I can't pay for pārdevēja.
Shop assistant.
If I work all day from 8 till 6, I need to
a shop assistant.
2 people in staff. Yeah. I have to manage this cash machine and so on and so on. So I'm atkarīga no web shop. It's Etsy.
Yeah, she doesn't. She says she doesn't have opening hours, set opening hours, because
I have opening hours in when it wasn't this pandemic.
Yeah. Okay.
But
well,
no, we are only going to office twice a week and sending all online orders. So I can't offer people to come in and touch this yarn. And if I would like to meet them all, but we must take a distance for this time.
Basically, don't come.
Basically, yeah.
Summer, maybe.
Summer.
Yeah.
In summer, yeah. but it's a thing that I miss to speak with knitters and yarn and color combinations and dye some special orders. It's the thing that I like to do.
Yeah, it's a shock for everyone, I think, these times. Ciao.
And,
Oops.
Ciao.
ciao.
Sorry, I keep forgetting that I shouldn't switch to Latvian because first of all, Maria wouldn't understand anything, and we're also streaming live on YouTube, and I don't know who might be watching. So basically, instead of ciao, I should have said hi. And we're just going around the circle and saying a little story about ourselves, who we are, and what's on our needles. And it is your turn now.
Nice. So, what's my story? What were
The
the
very
stuff?
beginning. No,
Yeah.
just like where are you from and whatever you'd like to disclose is fine.
So I am Austra, living in Latvia, in Iecu. I've been knitting for, I don't know, probably like 20 years, but not all of that time, of course. Lately, I've been interested in beaded knitting and in color work and in larger knittings, because most of my works are basically have been always socks and mittens and the small stuff. Yeah, that's that. I'm knitting at the moment a pair of, can you see, arm warmers with beads.
What is this? Is this the Mauchi
Yeah,
arm warmer? Yeah.
arm warmers. I call them warmers.
So you knit them straight and then you just
Yes,
fold them
exactly.
around like, and is this a seam or you knit together?
It's mostly the seam, but now I can you see it? You cannot.
The provisional cast on?
Yes, I'm trying. It should be better. I did a little swatch, but I don't know. Let's see. Because mostly I hate all the sewing thing.
So yeah, everyone says that.
Ah,
I
I
am currently
I can knit so many pairs of arm warmers, and they are just standing on my shelf because they need to be sewn together. No, hate it.
So I have never done knitted beaded anything. So those white things are beads, yeah?
Yeah.
That you put on the yarn before you do knitting.
Exactly.
So you need to know the number of beads your project will need before you start knitting.
No. It's this time it's really easy because it's one color beads and one color yarn. So I just put in loads of beads and then knit when I'm out of beads, and I cut the thread and then
Okay, because I was like, what do you do if you run out? You just
you
cut.
just cut the thread. It's just
Oh.
that you do. Or probably when the ball is small, you can unwind it from the other end and put it on. It's more difficult with color patterns. Then you need to
Calculate.
put them on thread carefully, like 2 red, 2 green, 1 blue, 2 green. That's crazy.
You like program yourself before you start the actual knitting.
Yeah, kind of.
Wow.
And then it's really, really, really frustrating when you have done something on the bead part wrong and
Have you ever had to like try and uncut a bead because
Sure.
you put one extra?
multiple times.
Do you use like your husband's tools or something?
I have my own tools.
Of course. Sorry, that was such a sexist
No,
comment.
it's a little tiny. What is it called? I don't know. The thing where you
Pliers?
Yeah.
I think it's called pliers. I don't know. English is not my native language either. I was thinking about the questions to ask today in the party, and one of them was, "How did you learn English?" Because I suspected that most people would be with English as a foreign language. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that almost 90.
Most of the people will be.
Um. So yeah. And I think I'm now lost to introduce myself. Most people here will know me because you have had some sort of dealings with me. Um, I am Janete. I was Latvian for a while, and then I became citizen of the world. Lived in like 5 different countries, and I learned English in Canada. So I have a very confusing accent. No one can ever know where I'm from because I don't like sound like any from anywhere. Um, but anyway, now I live in the London, United Kingdom, and I am knitting actually a design that I made last year, exactly a year ago, for my mom for Mother's Day. And that was when I was still knitting the old school style where you knit everything in pieces and then you seam together. But since then, I've like fallen in love with top down, in the round, seamless constructions. Really, really interesting to go back to. Like now I'm making the back of it, and it's just so nice. It's so light. You just do like just that one piece, and then you put it aside, and you don't have to carry around the pile of what's the word, knitting that like what everyone else is doing. So yeah, this is my second version of the ruffle schmuffle sweater, um, because I still haven't made the pattern, and I'm just testing it myself again before I put out a call for test knitters. So yeah, that should happen sometime. I will refrain from saying any timelines because who knows in these crazy times what will happen. We'll just take one step at a time. And yeah, and this is the back of it. Ta-dam, ta-dam. And I think that's it. I'm really happy you're here. This is the first time I'm also streaming live on YouTube. Actually, I haven't checked how that's going or who's watching. So whatever happens, happens. We should get started with the questions that I have prepared. Actually, I've stolen them from, we made a little group for Latvian online knit parties. And because I needed to crowdsource the questions, I was running out of ideas. So these are the crowdsourced questions that I have translated to English so we can talk about them. And the first one is, it's going to be interesting because some of you were there last week answering in Latvian. But let's see how that translates.
Let's see if we can try.
Maybe different answers.
Sorry?
Answers could be different in English.
Yeah, it could be. Like a lot can happen over a week, you know.
Exactly.
Maybe you've learned new things, and yeah. So the first question is, what other crafts do you know how to do or do right now apart from knitting? And Christine from Sweden, Stockholm.
Yeah, I guess I still have same skills as last week, but anyway. So what I like sewing. So actually I learned sewing at school, is still in Riga. So then I kept sewing for many years, and I stopped for a while, but then I restarted, and then I got cover stitch machine, and then I got overlock or serger, depending on your English, your version of English language. So I really like it. So like overlock is fantastic. I mean, you can make kind of stretch tops, and you can really make nice edges. So it's really amazing. If you're sewing, you should get one. So then I actually, some years I did embroidery. So I made kind of cashons, not in kind of cross stitch, but let me see, like kind of petit point. It's kind of like this one. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with kind of shells.
Uh-huh.
Light is for knitting, not for cushion showing. Anyway, but this is kind of it's British company,
Uh-huh.
Harman Tapestry. So maybe this is better. Yeah. Actually, it's printed on canvas. So this is the first time I made many years ago. Printed on canvas, and you get your wool, and then you kind of sewing and sewing. It takes ages. I mean, this one it takes 1 year like that. If you do it during evening. So I stopped doing this kind of things. But anyway, this cushion is pre-printed. So pattern is pre-printed, and then you just kind of it's a kit. So you take your yarn and you do your embroidery according to the drawing. And my son, who was like 7 years old those days, he said, "You're not designing by yourself. You're just kind of sewing according to pre-printed pattern. You are cheating."
Yeah, it's like a coloring book.
It's like a coloring book. He was quite very disappointed.
Huh.
Yeah, so then what else? I think, yeah, I have done some crocheting as well. I actually just this week I found fantastic Latvian designer, crochet designer Linda Skuja. Do you know her work? Amazing, actually amazing. I found her on Instagram just by chance.
Yeah, she is amazing, and she's
Amazing.
very popular.
Yeah, and amazing
I
kind of
didn't know that.
old-fashioned stuff. You think about crochet, it's kind of grandma kind of tablecloths or something old-fashioned, but she's really modern, really nice. Linda
What sort of things does she design?
sweaters, mainly. kind of-
Wearable things, sweaters, and
Yeah.
Garments.
and-
Okay.
And really, she's kind of high fashion, and she also, I think, some patterns are published in international magazines.
Mm.
Really nice.
Okay, we'll have to check her out.
So when
She's
I
the most popular Latvian
Yeah.
hand knitter, not knitter. She only crochets.
She does
Crochet, yeah.
Yeah.
amazing. So I thought I should do something from her.
I'm in love with one pattern, and I'm thinking about to finish penguin and start to crochet her pattern. I think it calls Sesume sweater.
Mhm.
It's very nice.
There's quite many, really nice.
Yeah.
Crochet stuff, and also winter sweaters. So yeah.
Sorry, what was her name, please?
Linda Skuja.
I'm just Googling her. If you can see the chat, I will.
11 handmade.
Handmade, yeah.
11 handmade, exactly. Yeah, really amazing. Mhm.
Oh, on Instagram. Okay.
And she never speak in some Latvian forums, and she's nowhere in Latvian knitters groups.
Mhm.
She speaks only in English, and she's very popular.
Wow, she's made this thing that looks like the hit sorrel sweater now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know the sorrel sweater, the round yoke with like the,
Ah, right.
Those lines.
and there's one that, oh wow, they're really pretty. Yeah.
I see that even some of my Swedish friends are following her, so she must be popular.
I discovered her last week, so yeah.
Wow.
And she have Zalktis top. That's a Latvian snake.
Even Andrea Maury is following her.
Oh.
That's the ultimate, you know.
Andrea Mori is a knitter that I try difficult ways to somehow how she can not promote but publish my finished object, and I can't found. I have published my this pink it was stone crop cardigan. Yes.
Yeah.
I published it in different ways in my private Instagram account. No reaction. I published it in Marumi Yarns Instagram account. No reaction. She put in this Instagram account in stories. different published finished objects, but
Not
why
yours.
not mine?
Yours.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can't understand why, because all those different objects are there is a bad, not so good picture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They
I
all
don't
are in works in progress, not finished.
And
I'm,
what's
I can tell you from my kind of, I mean, you can't compare the levels of audience that I touch with the levels of audience that she touches,
Mhm.
but it's really difficult to catch an Instagram notification and react to it unless you do it there. It's very likely that it'll just disappear into the void, and if you have thousands of followers and a lot of tags happening, you can just be very, yeah, you have to be very lucky to be kind of caught at the right time. When I don't know if I'm making any sense, but
yeah.
I'm sure I have missed people who have tagged me because I'm like, oh,
Sorry, I interrupt you, but if I just tag, it's okay. You can miss me. But if I add you to my story and tag you, it comes like a message to you.
ah, okay.
What's
No
her-
excuse then.
what's her
No.
name?
And then you have no excuse to atradīt mani, no? But
Yeah.
no, you can't miss my post. Yes.
I don't know. Did you use the right cast on?
So what was the name of this nasty designer?
No, it's okay. We don't say things like that.
And yeah, no, if she doesn't tag me or repost me, then I'm not interested to knit new project from her.
Mm. Yeah,
I'm selfish girl, how to say.
you have a very business like business mind. I would, yeah.
Not a business mind, but I like this project, but she, no, yeah.
Nulla.
This Japanese designer that I knit last one was this colorful work. I don't remember how it calls. She all my posts, and I'm so excited of her that I will knit some new project from her.
Mm.
But, Andrea Mori, and she have new. She haven't a good this not design, but how to say. I must modify this model.
Mm.
That's why.
As a knitter who think about how it will fit to me.
Mm.
But it's only girls chat. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyone else has a designer they don't particularly like for one reason or another? Since you're on the wave. let's not spread what's
But I like to knit designer projects and feel this feeling if she catch my project or not. I'm addicted of this feeling. I think so.
Ah,
To
you can knit some of mine. I definitely share it.
yeah.
But you know, it's gonna be like a drop in the ocean. What about Liga? What are your other crafts that you do or know how to do?
Yeah, there are not so many. It's mostly knitting. Sometimes from time to time I do crochet as well. but not as often. Then sometimes I also do embroider in this cross stitch. I have made some like a picture to frame.
Mhm.
The one I made was I found a really nice picture on Pinterest from Paris, and Paris was the first travel together with my husband, except Latvia and Sweden and Denmark, which didn't count as travels together. So he got it as a Christmas gift. I just fell in love with the picture, and the Paris were following us everywhere when we returned back home. So it was a good idea to do that one. And last year I also did another picture like for a baby, like with the name and when the baby was born, how long she was, how many kilos, and with things like that. It was like
I thought you said. thought
I
you were-
guess it was the coolest present. What is that like they called in English when they give her a name in the church?
Baptism.
Chris-
Baptism.
Christening, yeah.
Christening. Christening. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It depends on church, I think so.
Yeah, so I think my present was like the most original. At least all of the guests were taking it and looking at it. Maybe not all the other gifts the same way. And so I was happy. Then I have also tried some beading, like to make some earrings or something like that, but I was not so good at it, but I still want to try sometime something more. And then I also can weave, I think is the right word. I have been doing that at school, and my grandma has had this thing to do it on, and but yeah, that's all basically. Last summer I had the chance to try it, and at the knitting camp, the organizer took these things, like the huge ones where you can make something big on. She wanted us to try, all of us. The group before was not interested at all, so she had her hope on us. We were much better, but not all of us tried it because we were so excited about knitting, of course. And I think that's all what I do or can do.
Any plans to learn anything in the near future?
No, I don't have time for that. No ideas at the moment.
And
Just many knitting projects.
yeah. Lene.
Well, I'm kind of boring because I only knit. I can crochet basics, but I don't crochet. I prefer to knit. And yeah, my knitting experience is not that long, so at the moment I'm not thinking or trying to learn something new. In the past, I have tried some sewing with the sewing machine like that. If I would have time and if I would want to do something else, then probably that would be something to do with sewing. But at the moment, I enjoy my knitting, so it's enough for me. Plenty to knit, so. Yeah.
Maria.
Yeah, I can crochet too. I don't do it as much as I knit, but I do crochet sometimes. Like there's certain things that I think are easier to do crochet, like baby blankets and things like that. They're a lot faster to crochet than to knit a whole big baby blanket. And I've done some like beaded jewelry type things like earrings and necklace and stuff like that, but I don't do it a whole lot, but I do enjoy doing that. But most of my stuff, most of what takes up my time is knitting, and there's different techniques that I want to try to improve, but I don't think there's another separate thing that I want to learn how to do right now.
What are the techniques that you're eyeing?
I have never been very successful with color work, so I'd like to try that again. I think my tension is not right when I try to do color work, and some of it might block out, I don't know, but a lot of it seems like it doesn't look good. So I want to do that, but be patient with it. I think I get too impatient and then I just throw it to the side. And then I'd like to do more lace. I've done some, but again, it's a little more fiddly than some things. So I guess that's probably why I get too impatient with it.
Yeah, especially the one where you have to read the chart in both directions.
Yeah.
That one, I haven't tried much of that either. But yeah, I hear you completely about the color work, as I only picked it up really this year. And it takes quite a bit of getting used to get like a decent, I mean, I'm by no means anywhere near excellent or even good, just okay. But yeah, I think like with anything, you gotta go through a phase of forgiving yourself that it's not gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
And my daughter is knitting now. It's the longest holiday ever. She got the bug. She's making her first sweater, and I can see how the tension changes from like the bottom that is really loose, and then it's really tight, and the sleeves and all her decrease math is all messed up because because it changed. But yeah, you just sort of have to go through it with it. On Christine Norigas, Christine from Riga. What is your other crafts secret talent?
Yeah,
Wine? Yeah.
I would like to learn sewing.
Soon we have to do face mask.
Sewing,
Sewing. Sewing, yeah.
I'm better in English to write to clients, not to speak with. Sewing, it's my it's a challenge again from the I think last 10 years. I have sewing machine from my college time. It was the first thing that I buy on credit, but I never sewn them. I paid all this credit, but I never use it. It's something strange because I have this Maruma kids that owns also sew items for kids. But if I need to sew on a sewing machine something straight, it's a challenge for me. But I have some fabrics nice, and I think that this year will be my pandemic challenge to start to sew. I have some designs with which calls from it needs only straight line to sew, and yeah. The first object that I sew this month was for a summer house where we I think when it's stays warmer in Latvia, we will move to Zvejniekciems, and we have there all this novus and these these fabric bags where those come in was very in bad condition, and I must sew new bags. And I have some leftovers with linen fabric, and it was my first object this month. I sew 4 equivalent linen squares with linen fabric with flowers and butterflies. And yeah, I managed it.
Well done.
Well done. Yeah. I would like to join. I very appreciate, or how to say, novērtēt in English. Latin girl. She has blog named. I will remember now. Zanzibar. Zanzibar. You know.
Zanzibar, tā arī ir. Zanzibar.
Arī ir, vai ne?
Jā.
And she have very good online courses. They cost a lot, but how I hear from my friends, it's cost this money. But I haven't started it. It's a little dream of me to sew a linen dress for me and my girls. But I can knit, I can crochet, I can dye yarn. I don't like works with airless beads. Beads, I haven't them. I have a little bit some projects with cross stitches, and my oldest daughter she's very excited of this, how to call it, these draudzības saites.
Friendship bracelet making? Friendship
Yeah, she's very like I'm all-time knitting. She's all-time maskulot.
It's like you create a cord
With
macrame, but
no,
it's
it's
just
not no.
Yeah.
It's, I should call her. She's prof in she's in Pinterest. How to find these patterns. I will try to show you some in my phone. It's something amazing what she's doing. But she's my small. I don't know how to make big things of something small. What else can I say in my handmade thing? What can I do with hands? Yes, It was the question.
Yeah,
I can. I like to cook bread with my homemade.
Oh, you make sourdough bread?
Sourdough,
like
soda bread? No, it's easy one. I like to make bread with ieraugs.
Yeah, sourdough bread. Yeah, it's not soda, but it's the dough is sour.
Yes.
Yeah. How many years old is your sourdough starter?
I think it's already some 5 years ago it started in my home. And always when I go to some open air festivals in this Brīvdabas muzejs, I always said that to those ladies that I will sometimes have this big bread oven in my home. It's my dream.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something I think. I don't know why I haven't in childhood this bread oven and mūrītis. Where can you?
I don't know how to translate that.
I don't also know how to call mūrītis when oven is warm and you can delay.
Yeah.
But it's my dream how to give my kids this feeling of something natural.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes. And I love cats and dogs. I have this little one in my arm.
Cute.
I'm
The
a
cat
lover of Sphinx.
without the hair.
Yeah, it's Sphinx cat.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those
You have big
cats
yarn?
who I can't make a yarn of it. No.
No,
And
that's
I have a
after
pug dog. Sorry?
that's after you've already made yarn. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, he's already noskūts, yeah.
Yeah.
No. He was born naked. And I love also pug dogs, and my kids love cats and dogs, and we have behavior bees in Riga.
Wow.
Yeah,
You have bees?
bees in top of Riga.
On
I
the
don't- rooftop.
Wow.
Honey we have, yeah.
Wow. Jesus. Okay.
Jesus, yeah, we have we are
Are you,
very
are you gonna grow your own sheep for your own yarn?
not sheep, alpacas.
Okay. Alpacas. Okay.
Alpaca sheep are very no. Let this business keep to party to
Ah, okay,
Dundaga.
okay. But there are so many breeds of sheeps. Like the Gotland sheeps are completely different.
But it all it's the wool that comes from there. It's very the nature is a very important impact of the quality. My girls can parād, Mariņā parād šito. What she's doing.
Wow.
I don't know how to call it in English.
No, I
it's
don't.
Bracelets.
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 It's a bracelet, but how do you call the technique?
How it's called?
It's knotting the
Ah, I've never heard of it.
Nothing.
knotting.
Nothing.
Yeah.
How you found in Pinterest this technique? Cut.
Knotting? Like you tie knots?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a job of this week for her.
Knotting.
When
Beautiful.
she doesn't learning, she knows this kind of stuff.
Lucky friends.
Lucky friends who she doesn't meet this time of year.
Yeah.
Čeku Mariņa. So, yeah. Go to daddy.
This is
Oh my God.
actually a knitter party, but I think we can have knotters here as well.
Knotters, yeah. The film has finished for hers. They come. Atkal Žanete liks YouTube to visu.
Viņai Latvija?
Žanete, jā. Labi. Man sarkanī vajag vienkārši.
Aw.
We can go on.
Liv had last week a similar phenomenon. She was,
I had two monkeys.
two monkeys. Monkeys.
We
And a
call
cat
them
also,
badgers.
yeah, and a ba-
We call them badgers.
Yeah, the honey badgers.
Yeah, it's our honey badger team. We are honey collectors, and we have a honey badger team with 3 kids.
Wow, you are honey collectors. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, this was interesting. And Leva, we have a message from Liana saying that her Wi-Fi has stopped working. Unfortunately. But Leva, what are your other crafts that you know and do?
Well, I haven't learned anything new from last week, so the same. Yeah, I know a lot of them because I learned them in school.
So you went to special craft school.
Yeah.
You're like the most professional crafter here.
Yeah, but I didn't pay much attention at the time. So yeah, but I what I do mostly I do knitting and crocheting now, but I would love to do some embroidery because but not the cross stitch, but different kind of I don't know the names of the stitches in English, embroidery, sorry, but yeah, but not the cross stitch. I don't like cross stitch a lot.
There's one embroidery that has French name, French sounding name. But
No, it's not embroidery. That's the friolité you were also speaking about with the
Oh yeah,
cookie.
no, I thought that there's a certain type of taking a needle and a thread through fabric that creates something that has a French name, but I don't remember.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, but and I think I didn't said it the last week, but I would love to try some macrame. Not because it's cool, but I really like it, and I have a lot of wooden sticks around my home, so I could use them as the base. And of course, I have a lot of wool, so maybe next week I can show you something from macrame and wood sticks from my garden.
So the challenge here is everything new that you have decided that you have told us about, like everyone who has told us about a new thing they want to do. Next time you come and you have to show us some of those things. So Maria has to do some stranded knitting. Christine has to sew a linen dress.
Yeah, definitely.
Next week. No.
Okay, 2 weeks.
Yeah. But this is good one because I also have a sewing machine. That's not mine. I asked my sister to loan me, and she gave it me for 1 week, and I already have it for 2 months, and I just haven't packed it. Unpack it. It just stands under the table. So that's the good one. So maybe yeah.
What is with the fear of sewing machines in this?
I'm afraid of any machine.
Okay.
I like to also sew with hands. Yeah. If my daughter will be older and she would come to me and say, please sew a dress for my doll, I would never take a sewing machine. That's like the craziest thing I would do. I would sew 3 days with my hands. Of course, it's natural. So yeah, that's very strange, and I'm afraid with it because I have 2 small children, and they always somewhere here or here or here. So yeah, that's a bit challenging, especially now when the oldest is at home also all the time. So they would be, of course, how to say, very, very happy if I would do it with them. But I don't think
there's so many guys, you know, and
yeah. because they like everything what I do. I can't leave my sewing kit somewhere because Grieta, my smallest, she's 2. She's like, no, she's like, it's just a second. I just look around and she's just knitting all my pieces. And my boy, he likes to um, oh my god, I forgot the name. When you make yarn balls from skeins.
Mhm.
I don't have skeins. I have wool in
Balls?
no like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know how it's called.
And I like to knit from balls,
Yeah.
yarn balls, because this is hard to hide when my daughter is coming. And so I like to make small balls, and then I just throw it somewhere so she can't take it. And yeah, and my boy, he just loves it. So they really enjoy all the crafts also. So sewing is not the best thing right now. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, so I will start some macrame tomorrow to show you next week.
Excellent.
Yeah, from wood in my of my backyard and some my wool. Okay.
And Austra.
I also haven't learned anything new since last week. But yeah, I am mostly knitter as most of us, and I do know crocheting, and I have done my share of sewing, but I learned it by myself. And Liv just reminded me that I used to sew Barbie dresses, like tons of Barbie dresses, millions and millions of them, from old clothes that were too small or with some holes in them or whatever. So just cut out something and sew somewhere together, doing things like that. So of course by hand. And yeah, I just remember that I was making a gift for I believe 2-year-old, because I knew she had a doll, and I thought, well, what could I give to her, because she's the last kid of family with 5 kids, so their house is crowded with toys and they have like, well, everything they need. And I thought, okay, I can make some clothes for the doll. And I started with the sewing machine. It was a nightmare. It was total nightmare. I ripped it off. I was so so angry and frustrated because my plans were so big and it looked so terrible. And I was just, okay, I can definitely do it quicker with my hands.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Barbie dresses are just like so tiny that you can't even.
Yeah, but you get used to it.
With the sewing machine, impossible.
I actually I'm quite impressed. I have saw some dresses homemade, not manufacturing made, with sewing machine. It's crazy. All the what's called malus. All the
Edges.
all the edges. Yes, all the edges are done, because when I was sewing my dolls some clothing, the edges were never done. It was mostly that there are seams to hold them together, like make shirts or whatever, but not the edges. Never the edges. Yeah, and, it seems crazy. So I made it. I have tried some beading and some weaving and some many things. I don't know. I always think that I will probably get to it later and then make some more 20 pairs of earrings or whatever, and I never do. I just get a ton of supplies and stash them somewhere. Of course, it comes in handy when you have to improvise on things and just can grab something out of your stash and well, in times like this when everything is closing down, I'm sure that I have a lot to do.
You
And,
are preparing for a lockdown all your life.
oh yes, all the way. And yeah, but yeah, I like to try new things and learn how things work. But I truly
So what
admire
what are you gonna do for us next time?
what's my challenge. Eh?
Yeah, your challenge.
Actually, when this whole situation started, I made a list of things, like a reminder to me, what can I do just to keep me entertained, because well, obviously knitting is fun and I like it, but well, it's always here. And one of the things I put in my list is make beaded earrings, which I have done, I believe, 3 or 4 years ago. So I am very much in the mood to make a pair, probably.
Yeah,
Well, if I
especially
make,
these days, because most people need to care about the top part of their looks.
yeah, definitely,
bottom
because
does
I'm
not
I'm on
matter.
YouTube. I have to have some new earrings.
Yeah,
No need to sew. I don't know.
yeah.
Skirt.
You can forget about shoes, completely useless. Because
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
earrings.
They are on right now.
Yeah.
Everything up to the shoulders. Yeah, I could probably make a pair of earrings, but I know if I make a pair, then I will probably actually make like 3 pairs, because then you remember how to do it, and oh, it's so easy and it goes up so quickly. It really does, much quicker than a pair of socks or what. So yeah, I believe that could be my mission.
Okay, so next time when we see there's a huge earring, we know it's you.
Okay.
Don't. I mean, you don't have to make a huge one. Maybe less is more. I don't know how it goes with beads. My earrings are usually like 1 bead.
Yeah, I have those also. I
Take.
believe nobody can actually see them.
Yeah, and myself, I have some new things since last time, because I was just such a fan of knitting and knitting that after 2 weeks of crazily knitting, because I was taking part of in this game that it's going on in a Latvian Facebook group where to work through your pile of whips. You write them in a list and then you throw dice and figure out which one to work on, and then you throw dice again to know how many rows or rounds you need to do. And so I was working on 4 sweaters and a pair of socks at the same time, and I think I didn't do it properly by the rules, because you're only supposed to throw once a day to determine the piece of work that you're supposed to take. I was just throwing and then doing and then throwing and doing, and it's like chasing my own tail for so long, for 2 weeks nonstop. I mean, I got a lot done, but then on the Sunday at the second week, I thought I need a holiday from knitting. Finally that day has come. So I found a crochet pattern, and I thought maybe my fingers will remember how to crochet after like 10 years of not crocheting anything. So yeah, and this is my first ever triangular shawl coming along with a crochet hook. So that has changed since last week. Last week I didn't know if I remember how to crochet, but I do, and that's all. That is in the muscle memory, I guess. Since if you've done it once, it stays forever. What other things? I can't say I dye yarn, but I've tried based on Christine's suggestion to try it with avocados. And yeah. What other crafts? Oh, I have sewn before. I've made my own clothes in high school with a sewing machine. But I have a feeling that I have forgotten everything. And now the excuse for me is to ask my husband for us to get a sewing machine. because we feel that we're gonna have to sew our own protective masks soon because we can't buy them here. And if there's any legislation that says that we have to wear them to go out, then we would be safe because I would figure out how to sew them. So that's our like backup plan. And I really like that plan because it means we'd get a sewing machine. But yeah, it probably won't happen until later. So I can't do that by next week. Maybe I can. Maybe I'll arrive with a protective mask.
You can knit one. You can knit one.
It's not funny for some, but for me, it's a good excuse. So yeah, and oh my God, you guys reminded me of making Barbie clothes with hand. My Barbies had knit sweaters and sewn skirt and dresses and whatnot, but I was doing that all by hand.
Best stuff
Yeah.
ever.
And we had Barbie fashion shows with like real photographers, not real photographers, but like back in the day, you didn't have a phone that you could just snap. You had to ask your dad to get the camera out.
And use the precious film.
Yeah, and then I sourced many Barbies from my neighbor girls because I had to dress a lot of them up, and I only had maybe 2 or 3 between me and my sisters, so I had to get the models from around the village. Anyway, that was then, and it's no longer true. Yeah, that's that. That's the crafts. Where's my next question? When was the last, well, this is a little bit adjusted. It's not a direct translation of last week because it's not really relevant to everyone. What was the last knitting or yarn festival you went to, and what was your experience? Do you miss them? Christine from Stockholm.
Oh, right. The last one. Just thinking, well, the last one was maybe in Paris, actually, last year, a year ago. It was quite a fun, actually. They have this needle festival. Have you been?
No.
No, but it was fun and they had a lot of yarn. Yeah, and actually, yeah, I think I mentioned last time, but anyway, it was still worth, well, mentioned today as well. They have this speed knitting competition.
Uh-huh.
I didn't participate, but it looks like a big fun, actually.
So it was hand-dyed yarns or all sorts of yarns, or
Also, all sorts of yarn actually, but also books. So I mean, there are a lot of small shops, crafters. Yeah, so it was quite nice actually.
was it one day or multiple days?
It was like a long weekend from Thursday to Sunday. I went there with a friend of mine who lives in Brussels. So actually I went to Brussels and then we took a car and then we went to Paris and had a really nice time. So yeah, but yeah, it's nice. But my French is not so good, so I missed perhaps part of events. It's much easier if you speak fluent French. So actually, I would like to go to London once. They have this nice London. What's called this London?
There's a London stitching and knitting show.
Yeah, like in October, correct?
Yeah, beginning of October or September. I don't know
Yeah.
the exact dates for this year.
Well, this year,
but that one was huge, huge, and they have a lot of sewing machines there as well, and a lot of commercial yarns. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, in Paris they had like both commercial, non-commercial, and like some commercial yarns they also produced by small companies, which is quite nice. The small French companies. So it's always nice that not only these big brands presented. Then I've been, well, I sometimes go to the Stockholm kind of sewing and knitting festival. It's quite commercial. You have all the sewing machines. So if you're interested in sewing machines, it's a good opportunity to try different brands, well, and get some advice. And they also have kind of different classes and fabrics and magazines and yarns. from bigger and smaller companies. So, yeah. So this year, actually, I hope for this new festival, Stockholm. What was this called? Stockholm Yarn Festival, Stockholm Knitting Festival, but which?
I think it was called the Yarn Festival, if you mean the one in the end of April.
So it was supposed to take place actually next weekend. Of course, it was cancelled. So first it was postponed until October, and now it's totally cancelled this year. So it's sad. But I got such a big stash of yarn at home, so maybe it's actually good for environment. Yeah.
So yeah, it does sound like you miss them.
Kind of miss, but
Tone of your voice.
better is not to go there. And then actually, so I try to support local yarn store, just 10 minutes walk from my place where I live. So there's a fantastic lady, and she's been running a yarn store, I guess, for 30 years. She also organizes knitting cafes. So, and yeah, this is where I used to buy yarn.
What name is of the store?
It's Vincent Yarns. It's close to Odenplan in Stockholm. And the lady is really amazing. And yeah, she always remembers your name, what you're doing, all your projects. So even if you live in like city center, so it's kind of small village in a way, your local area.
I guess I have never been to that one because I don't recognize that. I went to another one close to Odenplan when I was living in Stockholm.
This is Lundqvist or something.
Yeah, but that store was not good.
It's close, but it's just like 200 meters from my favorite store. So next time you come, I can go with you.
Yeah.
Because I think these times, like for small businesses, it's really difficult to survive. So I tried to support her, but then I asked her how it was going. She said, "Oh, very good, very good. So many customers coming. Actually, sales were increasing."
Yeah, I think I've noticed that from quite a few yarn sellers and dyers. They say that demand is high because everyone's sitting at home and they want to knit more.
Exactly. But it's support her because she organizes these events. I mean, we want to have the stores in the city as well, not just internet stores. So yeah, I buy as much as I can. So, but my stash has some limits.
Liga, what about your festival experience lately?
The last one was like yarn market in September, I think. There is a Swedish podcast. They are organizing it once a year, I think. They have it like some kind of knitting camp for the weekend. And then one day everyone can come to a yarn market. So it's mostly like how to call them, it's not like big stores or big companies who are selling their yarn. They're mostly like people who has accounts on Instagram, web shops and things like that. So it's possible to come and see the yarn, like not only in the web shop but at the place. So that was really nice. And the only thing I didn't like about it was so crowded. It was like not possible to move around. First time we went in with a friend, we just went out because it was impossible. It was too many people inside. So then we were knitting for a while outside, and then we gave it another try. So then it was a little bit better. So that was the last thing I did. I was also thinking about the yarn festival next weekend, to go to that one, which was cancelled. But otherwise, before that, I have been to this sewing and yarn festival in Stockholm 2 or 3 times, I think. And that one takes place like twice a year, usually in February and October. So while I was living in Stockholm, and when I discovered that one, then I was going there every time, but haven't been there since I moved from Stockholm.
Now they have these Corona hospitals there.
Okay.
This location. It's kind of big fair, and yeah, they have kind of a temporary hospital there.
Didn't know about that.
Yeah, but no patients.
And Maria?
The last thing I was at isn't specifically a yarn festival, but they have we have a folk festival that does all kinds of folk arts. So there's people there that spin, and so you could buy yarn that people hand spin, but there's a variety of crafts. So that's really nice to go to. And they also have like folk music, so various different cultural groups get up and do different kinds of songs. They have all these with that. I was looking forward to going to a festival near here in April that of course got canceled. So that was sad, but yeah, there's a lot of big famous yarn festivals, but none of them are very close to me where I live. So it's mostly some smaller things. So a lot of what I do is just go to my local store.
Yeah, sad that things get canceled, but what can we do? We've got enough yarn, I guess. And Christina, you can tell us about Barcelona or maybe some other festival.
Yeah, the only one when where I was. This was this Barcelona knitting festivals. I was there twice. And this year also I had bought tickets. I hope that it will the dreams come true, and I will visit it.
What month is it?
It's November.
Uh-huh.
When Latvia have national holidays, then Barcelona celebrates knitting, and it's closer to my soul. Not those big fireworks and military parades, and I bake cake for my family and go to Barcelona.
Very wise.
Yeah, and I don't know. I haven't experienced with something else. I feel like in home in Barcelona, and how I joke with my friends in when I will get an old lady, I can manage with traveling guide in Barcelona.
When you're old, you can be the guide?
Yeah. For knitters.
Oh, yeah, okay.
For knitters.
You can make the knitter guide.
Knitter guide in Barcelona.
They have many yarn stores.
Specific guide, yeah. Where to buy a cheapest beer or wine or something else.
Well,
there are all yarn
keep that
shops.
in mind. You can create a knitter retreat in Barcelona.
Yeah, maybe. But Spanish knitters are kind of different from Latin knitters, and I have only experience with Estonians in this. I haven't been three times in this Mardilat. It's in Tallinn, where located all national knitters with those mittens and ocean
weaving.
Yes, weaving and all national traditions and all old ladies with I very like and appreciate or how to say novērtēt Estonian knitters and those old traditions. They are stronger than we had in Latvia.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they're all customers that come in this Mardulat festival comes in something from traditional costume.
Mm.
Maybe they are people from office. They have under wool coat some traditional knits socks or priekšauts, kaut apron.
Apron. Yeah.
Apron, yes. And I just like to sit in the tribunes and watch those national
Costumes.
costumes and buyers that come from Tallinn, old city, to buy something there. And
You go people watching.
I go people watching. Yes, my husband also said that if I haven't my own business, I can go to supermarket as a
People watching.
this apsargs,
Ah,
watch
a
people.
security guard.
A security guy, because I like to watch people.
Not creepy at all. No.
Yeah, not creepy. I can knit and I can watch people. It's all that I like to do. But those Estonians are they are most closer to those traditional volumes that we are.
Mm.
It's my opinion. It's that what I have watched in those 3 years that I was in Mardulat. It's in October when we celebrate in Latvia Martin Diena.
November.
Sorry?
Begin of November.
It's I think it's end of October. When
No,
is
it's around Martin Dien, 10th of November.
no, yeah, it's always last year I wasn't there because it's very close to Barcelona. It's a week before or 2 weeks before. Yeah, it's in start of November. But it's also a very good tradition, and those who live in Latvia or near to Estonia, I suggest to come there and sit in tribunes and watch those old ladies who are weaving and knitting and sewing and
Okay, you can also organize. You can also organize a people watching retreat in Tallinn.
in Tallinn. Yeah. Or maybe I don't know if I can Salīdzināt, how to say, compared to Latvia's this open air festival. I think we are most our trades are commercial.
Mm.
Those in Tallinn, those isn't. Those are most closer to the nature and those to those traditions and so on.
Mm.
I like Estonians natural those handwork, but much more than Latvians. Maybe my senči is Igauņi, I don't know. I come from Ruiena, that is close to Estonian border, and maybe something there is in air. But yes, that's my only two experience with Talent Festival, this Mardulat and Barcelona.
Mm.
And Barcelona, I'm loving it.
Maybe you're actually Spanish.
Maybe too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Catalonian.
Barcelona. I'm asked to my mother why I'm feeling so close to them.
It's very hard not to like Barcelona. I admit it's very hard.
Yeah, first year when I come there, it was a last minute decision when I come there. I buy tickets for airplane very expensive, and I booked a very cheap hostel where I live, and it was a really hostel. I I have experience where I live in a room with 5.
Two other men.
Yeah, there was men's also, but I recognize it in the morning in the daylight.
Wow.
That there was in a room also some men sleeping, not only me. But it was good experience, and it was great. I love this old Gaudi architecture, and
Yeah.
I can speak
Barcelona is
about
something
all
special.
this time, hours and hours.
Yeah, I almost moved there actually a few years back when I got
To
really tired
Barcelona.
of London. Yeah, I one of my bass guitars is already there because I moved it as hand luggage, and then I was gonna move the rest of me, but I met my husband and I stayed here.
I don't know if I can live there, but once or twice a year I can. I would like to visit
Oh,
Barcelona.
it's amazing. It has all the good things about that is good in the big city. You get a lot of stuff going on, but at the same time, when you compare to like New York or London, there's none of that rush. People are really
Yeah,
just chill.
I
Yeah.
haven't been in New York, but I haven't been in London. And in London and this city where this Gurtis cabbage, or how to say this,
Gherkin?
building, it's very noisy and all are
Yeah, no, London is out of the
the
question.
city. Yeah, but in Barcelona, but yeah, but no, yeah, but they are living on this thought that they are a traveler city, and they own money out of this.
Oh, you mean they earn money from tourism?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
every step of tourism costs something.
Yeah.
When you go through this La Rambla street,
Yeah.
you just
Is a tourist. Yeah. Don't go there.
don't go. But it's very fine. No, it's yeah, okay.
It's a beautiful
What
city.
about this festival, Barcelona Yarn Festival? Is it a big one? So what is kind of the theme on or topics?
I would say it's in the middle. I haven't been in large. The first my experience was that it's so small, and the second one also they landed in this business center. From my experience from Riga, I hope that it will be huge, or exhibitions call it. It's huge for those festivals, but it also was very small, and like Spanish people, they don't care if you can't find your place where you can have this class. I have booked the class with Stefan West. There was no notes when I found this class.
Could you
Only
repeat
when
that? You said you booked a class with Stephen West and then you
Yeah. I can find where it becomes.
Oh,
Only when you ask for those local girls who organize it, they tell me, go there. I go there. Oh no, Stephen West will be tomorrow only there.
oh,
Oh, I have tickets where is no going class. Okay. Call. They call something. Okay, go there.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
Spanish people. Who cares? I just it's my Latvian īpašības or hope that only must be no norādes. I don't know
Yeah.
how to call it in English.
You are used to a certain structure and
In structures,
expectation.
yeah, or
But
people.
when you go
who-
to the Mediterranean, it's a different world.
yeah,
If you're half an hour late, that's okay.
that's okay.
It's
Yeah, you can
okay.
find why. No, it's okay. You
You're
go
alive.
there
Not
or
a
go there, or you can
problem.
you bought a ticket on online, but to get inside, you can stay in line for how hour.
Yeah. Well,
It's not normal for me, for a Latvian girl. But if you're in Barcelona,
yeah.
you just take out your knit
Yeah, exactly.
and stay in line.
Don't worry, you
Oh,
will
you
see
get
some
inside.
beautiful yarn and you will forget all your bad experience.
Yeah, and the location where the all yarns, those sellers was very small. There was no air. I bought a yarn, and when I come out in sunlight, it was in different color.
Wow.
But it's okay. It's
You still loved it.
I still love them, and I will come again next year
Yeah.
because I love this
Atmosphere.
atmosphere and people to people, or how to say, to this catch with those dyers and knitters and all those pattern writers. First year I met their Joji Locatelli and Andrea Mori and Julia from Paris, and I just feel that, yeah, first time I'm not alone in this world. They
Yeah.
also, because all my friends don't understand, why are you, Christina, knitting? Cheaper is to buy something in shop.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
why your yarn, dyed yarn is so expensive?
Yeah.
Who are buying this? Come on, Christina.
Idiots.
When I go to Barcelona, then I feel that I'm not the expensive dyer in the world. I'm the
Yeah.
cheapest, and I love to dye and I love to knit the garments of this yarn, and I love to create something that no one have in this world.
I love the expression in people's faces when I knit something and they're like, "Oh, that's so nice. You can make cheap clothes." I'm like,
Mm-mm.
"No, this is 21 pounds.
Yeah.
I need
So,
4."
I always say to my husband's business partners, it's expensive that your Harley Davidson jacket or something like that.
Yeah. Don't tell my husband how much my shelf.
Oh,
No,
you can't say your husband how much you spend to yarn. Keep your marriage in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the time has flown by crazily, and I am having to end this party here. But I thank you very much for joining, and we can continue with our festival experiences next time. Oh, before we go, can I ask everyone to hold your knitting so that I can see your face as well for a nice photo? 1 and 2, and we're still missing a few. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so that was that. I hope to see you again next time, which will probably be in a couple of weeks. And until then, do your challenges and stay safe and stay at home. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.